Hello, friends. Good morning, good day, good evening. Thank you for tuning in to WOD right here on a Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, no matter what time zone you're in. Thank you for making WOD a part of your day on a Saturday. And as we always say, if you're out doing that honey-do list, if you're out getting ready to do some shopping because we got All Out coming on this afternoon, this evening. So you're doing some prepping right now for the All Out feast you're going to throw right there when you have all the friends over to your house to watch All Out. Thank you for making us a part of your day. But before we go to All Out, got to give a shout out to DCW first. DCW, Dominant Championship Wrestling. Thank you, DCW, for the shirt. Definitely be tagging you guys in this video. Appreciate the merchandise. Salute to you guys. I told you, if you see me your merchandise, I will definitely wear it on WOD, on Grit and Grind, on It Stinks. We will wear it. We're all about supporting each other in this community. DCW, a good place to showcase some old school wrestling. Went to one of their shows. As you guys know, met the Masterpiece, Chris Masters there. Met some great wrestlers, Zula over here in North Carolina, the Zenith Tag Team. Met some good people at the DCW show, so we definitely will be plugging them. Thank you, DCW, for the show. Look forward to the October show, November show. I already got the VIP access, got the text about the next show. We'll definitely be flying, going down there, checking you guys out, enjoying hanging out with you guys. Look for big things at DCW. Also got another show we'll be going to in North Carolina on the road. WOD will be on the road in October for the Oktoberfest show, a wrestling show put on by NCWA, another promotion right here in the backyard in the Carolinas. So definitely be going out there. And WOD will be on the road on that, but definitely at DCW, WOD will be on the road. Be getting some footage, some stuff to talk about on WOD, showcasing some great talent, young talent over here in the Carolinas, just trying to get that contract with NXT, trying to get that TNA contract, that Ring of Honor contract. You know, people who don't mind going to the dojo, going to the PC, the Performance Center. They don't mind doing that. You know, we got some good talent at a young age who told me when I talked with a bunch of them, hey, NXT called me, Ring of Honor called me, TNA called me. We don't mind going 2 to 3 years in the dojo, going to the PC to work on our craft, to get better, to try to get on TV. So shout out to those people. Definitely be traveling, so you'll be seeing more of that. But shout out to DCW for the merchandise. As I always say, we got to support indie wrestling. These people depend on us on these shows to buy tickets, to buy their merchandise, because for a lot of them, they work full-time, part-time gigs, but the money they make off their gigs goes into funding their wrestling career, whether it's paying for classes, paying for seminars, paying for gas, travel, hotel reimbursement, paying to get merchandise made to sell, to try to make some profit off of that. So we got to support it. So all my friends out there at WOD, if you see a mom and pop show, if you see an indie show in your area, do yourself justice, do yourself a favor, go out and support them, cheer them on. I mean, I'll tell you, when I go to indie shows and mom and pop shows, man, like I'm at AEW, WWE, I'm on the front row. I mean, when they hit the one, I mean, I told you about this on the last show. They hit the 1D. I'm in there yelling. Me and little Lucas, we in there yelling. Me and my daughter, 1D on you, 1D on you. We got the people hyped in the ring like they come and give us, they supposed to be heels, come and giving us high fives. Like, appreciate y'all getting everybody going. So that's what we do. So, hey, support indie wrestling. If you don't get nothing else out of this episode, get the message of please support indie wrestling in your local area, or if you have to travel outside your local area to go support it. So before we make these all-out predictions, let's go back Sunday. Great week of wrestling. We talked about it on the nightcap Wednesday night. Me, my off with Mike, Wayne the model. How good wrestling has been. And my off with Mike, man, this guy has been pulling double, triple duty since Friday Night SmackDown. He had Friday Night SmackDown, TNA Emergence, Saturday morning, Bash in Berlin, Sunday night, NXT No Mercy, Monday night, Monday Night Raw, Tuesday night, NXT, Wednesday night, Dynamite, took a break on Thursday, came right back on Friday night, talked about TNA, talked about SmackDown, and talked about Collision, that was simulcast against SmackDown at 8 p.m. Hard work from boy Mountain off with Mike, but if anybody can do it, hey, we know he can. So good work to him. So definitely go back, check those nightcaps out. But I want to backtrack because we had a great segment on Sunday night, the nightcap. I was watching, I was up there in the hotel room in Charlotte, had the nightcap on. Tortellina and the girls, I cannot call it a podcast, but I listened to it. Very good podcast. Sorry about the plug, but hey, if you know it, drop it in the comment box so people can go check it out. But I'll definitely check out Tortellina and them. And we had a good discussion about Joe Hendry. And I said, hey, I got to steal this because I started in the text, I was in the chat, throwing stuff out, mouth off, but Mike was throwing great discussion. And I said, hey, I got to peel that back because I'm going to use that on WOD Saturday morning to be my segue before I make my all out predictions. Right now, say his name, and I tell you, he will appear. I believe in the Joe Hendrys. It's a movement right now in pro wrestling, a movement that we have not seen in a long time. A lot of people that I talk with say they feel like TNA NXT is shoving Joe Hendrys down our throat. I totally disagree with that because when you say shoving a wrestler down our throat to get them over, I think about the Cena era when they was like, hey, you're going to cheer for Cena. And I used to love to go to house shows, go to live shows, and I would hear those little kids, let's go Cena. And me and my brother, I'll be the first, yeah, Cena sucks. Let's go Cena, bring back Punk. That's when we were getting Cena shoved down our throat. We went through that with Roman Reigns when Vince wanted Roman to be the guy. And Roman finally got over as the guy when Roman did what Roman wanted to be. Roman told you day one coming in, I'm a heel. I'm meant to be a heel. I know how to be a heel. I know how to irritate the fans. When he became the tribal chief, Roman got over with everybody. You had kids who didn't like Roman. Now they're starting to like him because he's cool. Kids who were booing Roman when he was a tribal chief, once he started going and producing and getting into this groove of being a tribal chief, you had adults, you had kids, fans of all ages who were booing him. Now that we were standing up applauding him, waiting to hear that music, waiting to see that tree, I can't call it, the graphic, the tree graphic come on the screens of our TV. We were waiting for it. Live shows. I was sitting in live shows. I remember Raw that night. They advertised the Bloodline to be there in the Carolinas. So I went to this Raw. Of course, you know the Bloodline. Either they're going to open or they're going to close. Maybe they'll put them in the middle, but majority of times it's either open or close the show. 1 to 2. Opening comes out, New Day. And New Day gets everybody going, having a great time. New Day rocks. I'm sitting there literally looking at my watch like, okay, I got 2 hours and 50 minutes before the Bloodline appears. I don't care what happens in the next 2 hours and 50 minutes. You can have a banger of a match. I'm come to see the Bloodline. Finally, with 20 minutes left to spare before we got ready to go off the air, Roman music hits, the whole arena erupts. Everybody got ones in there. That got Roman over. But as I said, Vince was shoving Roman down our throat. He wanted us to make Roman the guy. We did not want Roman to be the guy. We did not like Roman, the big dog. We didn't like it. We don't care if he beat The Undertaker. We don't care if he beat Cena. We didn't care who he beat, Goldberg, anybody, Braun Strowman. We did not care. We just didn't like him. But same thing I said about Cena and I just said about Roman. Cena finally gave up and just said, hey, I'm going to acknowledge the boos. I'm going to acknowledge the Cena sucks. The more you say, I'm going to put on a great match. Roman, the more you boo me, the more I'm going to make you want to like me because you're going to acknowledge me. I will be your tribal chief. What did we do? We acknowledged him as our tribal chief. And for 2 years of wrestling, regardless of what you say, how many appearances he made, regardless of what you say about how he defended the title, Usos getting involved, Solo getting involved, the Wise Man getting involved, regardless of all of that, we had 2 great years of wrestling with Roman as a tribal chief. That's what we had. You can't deny it. You cannot deny it. You tuned into SmackDown every Friday night to see what was going to happen. And when they got stale, they brought in the honorary Uso, Sammy. And then when that got stale, Sammy turned on the bloodline. And then when that got stale, Jay and Jimmy, Jay turned on the bloodline, Jimmy turned on the bloodline. So we had 2 great years and Roman got over. But then you have people like LA Knight, Joe Hendry. I can name so many from the territory days who did it, who just go out in the ring. Zack Ryder went out in the ring. Either your ring work got you over. We saw that with Daniel Bryan. His ring work got him over. We wanted to see Bryan succeed. The more they catapulted Bryan down, the more we as fans elevated Bryan up to say, why is a guy who's putting on 5-star matches in the opening match on Raw? Why is he not the heavyweight champ? Why is he not the WWE champ? We saw that. Same thing AEW. Why is he not the AEW champ? Now he is. You can put yourself over either with having great matches. Cesaro, Claudio, Casanova. He put himself over in WWE. Vince just held him back. We've been wanting Claudio to be what we're getting now in AEW. Vince just didn't see it in him. He got himself over. Zack Ryder, first person ever to do it this way, got himself over by using social media. He was the internet champ. We watched all his memes. We watched all his, before then it wasn't TikTok. There wasn't Instagram. We watched all his Facebook posts, all his YouTube videos, the Z Ryder True Stories. We watched that. Hey, another prime example, the Bullet Club. They were over, but what really got them over? BTE, being the elite. When we were getting bad wrestling with Vince, I talked about this on previous shows, I'll use it again. We were getting bad wrestling from Vince on Raw. We went to the Indies to BTE. They were beating Vince with viewership on a YouTube channel over a nationally syndicated cable broadcast TV show of Monday Night Raw. Blowing Raw out the water. You had people at Raw, and we seen the photos, we read the dirt sheets, that were watching BTE versus watching Raw. You had talent that was not on the roster to wrestle that night, that they have pictures of them in the locker room watching BTE during Monday Night Raw. I've never been in a locker room, never took a bump, been a fan of wrestling all my life, from the territories and back in the 80s, the NWA, all the way now from the Attitude Era, the Golden Era, the Ruthless Aggression Era, the NWO Black and White, everything. I could just name it all. Rock and Roll Express, Midnight Express, the Rockers. I could just keep going. Harlem Heat, so many. I could just keep going. Steiner Brothers. But I heard Jim Cornette say this on his show one time. He said, if you were not in the main event and you was on the show, during the main event, the wrestlers gather around in the locker room, watch the main event, took notes because that's the spot you wanted to be at. You want to figure out, how do I go from the opening act to the main event? How do I go from the mid-card guy to a main eventer? How do I go from the 3-minute squash match to the main event match, 15, 20 minutes on TV? You sat there, he said, and you watched that match. You took notes from the heel and the babyface. You analyzed this stuff to try to put in your repertoire so that when you got in the match, you could use these tools. You had people on the live show watching BTE. Zack Ryder did it. LA Knight did it by getting over his promo skills. The Elite, the Young Bucks did it by getting over with BTE. So many people have done it. Zack Ryder did it using social media as a platform. What does Joe Hendry do? He used social media to his advantage. He used TikTok. He put a song out for a theme song that now everybody's doing TikToks to. The guy got over. Joe Hendry signs were at the Olympics. Joe Hendry signs have been all over businesses. We believe in Joe Hendry. Buy Domino's Pizza. We believe in Joe Hendry. Buy McDonald's McFlurries. This is no promotion for Domino's and McDonald's. But that's what you saw. We believe in Joe Hendry. Do you believe in Papa John? You saw stuff like that. And we did not promote Papa John on WOD. But you saw things like that. This is what got him over. You saw him in stuff at NBA games, we believe. WNBA games. You're probably going to see it in the football stadium. Somebody's going to either have a Joe Hendry sign or either a sign that says, we believe in Joe Hendry. We believe in the Cleveland Browns. It's going to happen. This guy is the biggest thing in wrestling right now. Yes, they did not put the belt on him. Still upset because I felt like this was the true and testament to show that Triple H, we're open for business. We are a territory system. We're working like a territory system. But I can respect why, because there's a bigger story to tell with Ethan Page. And maybe with Joe Hendry now on a dual contract with NXT and TNA working out at NXT, maybe they're just waiting for the TNA contract to fizzle out so he can truly be solely invested in NXT to where now you can put a title on him. So I'm telling you, there will be a Joe Hendry title reign. Joe Hendry could win the Royal Rumble depending on how this contract goes. The guy right now is the man of wrestling. He's the face of wrestling. He's a social media inspiration. People are using his theme song for everything. He's not been sure. Yes, TNA has used him in the main event. Yes, NXT has used him in the main event. No people are upset because, hey, how can you bring an outside in from a different promotion to main event the show and I be here busting tail every day at NXT? Well, this guy got over. This guy's putting eyes on our show. So NXT fans, once again, are going to watch TNA. TNA fans are tuning in NXT. TNA and NXT fans that may not like Raw and SmackDown. They may not like the long tail story booking. They may not like the promos you get on Raw. They may think that SmackDown is too fast. It's always bam, 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 match, match, match. They may not like that. But they're tuning into those shows because they say, hey, who's to say Joe Hendry may not show up on Raw if they're in Chicago? May not show up on SmackDown if they run in LA or they run in Orlando or they run in Miami. Who's to say he may not show up on a Raw if it's ran in New York? Who's to say? The guy got himself over the old-fashioned way. Social media and just having people buy into that brand with the theme song, with everything he does, the We Believe, say his name, he appears, all that stuff just sprinkled on top of his character to now make him, I'm telling you, he's going to be a top 5 PWI guy. Don't be upset when you see him in the top 5. If he's not in the top 5, I will go on WOD. I'll go on Drop the Mic. I'll go on Quick Hits. I'll go on the Nightcap with Mouthing Off with Mike. I'll go on any show. I'll come on Tatalinia's show on their podcast. I'll come on any show and I will say this guy was robbed this year because he got over. And what is wrestling all about? Getting over. That's my spiel on Joe Hendry. Just wanted to kind of piggyback back off the conversation that we had Sunday night when we were talking about Joe Hendry on the Nightcap. I was in the chat, thinking about it all with Mike, think Derek and all them and the ladies from Black Constellation and Masters podcast. I told you I would get it. I think they all did great, breaking it down. I just want to borrow that segment and bring it over to WOD. So definitely want to talk about Joe Hendry. So now, let's get into the part of the show that everybody is waiting to hear. My predictions for All In. Basher Berlin, I did great. No Mercy, I did bad. Woo! Most time I'm pretty 75, but I was about 50 on this one. I was picking more with my heart. Wanted Joe Hendry to win. Really thought that Wesley would beat Wentz. That didn't happen. Thought the Don would beat Uber. That didn't happen. So, I was kind of off on that one. I got Roxanne right. I'm always going to get Roxanne right. Let's start with AEW World Tag Team Championship. This match was made official on Wednesday night on Dynamite. The Trios champs, who cannot defend their title because Pac is in a singles match, Claudio Castagnoli and Willa Yuta, will go against the Young Bucks, Matthew Jackson and Nicholas Jackson. If you watch WOD, then you know I am over the Young Bucks. Like I have had it. I'm Young Buck out. I'm tired of the Elite. Not all of them. Leave a TV screen for a month and then come back. And maybe we can try it again. But I'm just tired of them. And me being tired of them means, guess what? They're doing their job as heels. What does the heel post do? Make you frustrated that you see them on TV every week. Make you frustrated they're cheating to win. They're scheming to win. They're getting by wins with using foreign objects, taking low blows, taking shortcuts. That's what heels supposed to do. So they're doing their job. I'm just tired of watching them, but they're doing their job. I don't think the Blackpool Combat Club wins this. Would I like to see Claudio and Yuta win these tag titles and have that and the trios champs? Yes. When Stone Cold was here, we would say, hell yeah. But the thing is, I think you got to keep it on the Young Bucks. You got to keep those baby faces chasing the heels and have them lose it to a tag team. And I think losing it to the trios champs really discredits the tag belts because you're saying there's not a tag team good enough to beat the tag team champs. So we had to go get 2 members of the trios tag champs to beat the tag champs. So you got to keep it on the Bucks. So I'm taking the Bucks. Regardless, bad as them, I don't want to say it. I'm taking the Bucks. Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander. This is for the CMLL Women's Championship. It's got to stick with Willow. I mean, Willow right now, I think CMLL is liking that Willow has a title on AEW. It's on television. A lot of us cannot get CMLL right here in the States. So they're getting free advertising with it on Willow. And I think that Willow's just the one, she's working that brain for them on the channel. And if you're CMLL, if you want eyes on your brand, what do? Put the title on the babyface. Put it on the biggest babyface on the roster. Who's the biggest babyface on AEW in the women's division? Willow Nightingale. She screams babyface for the way she acts, the way she carries herself, the way she cuts her promos. She's the biggest babyface there. Put it on her. So that's what they done. So Willow wins this match. The AEW International Championship. I'm going to say one match when it gets bound to the main event. This could be a main event match, but we got some other good matches. Will Ospreay the champ versus Pac. This is a hard pick. If Pac would not have won the Trios champ, it would be an easy pick. If Ospreay would have not won the title back in All In, this would be an easy pick. It'd be Pac. But you don't have Ospreay go through a long 3 months build, 2 months build with MJF to finally win this title back, to drop it at the next pay-per-view a week later. Will Ospreay remains the champ. Pac is protected. He's a trios champ. He still has something that you can build off of that, hey, he's the trios champ. He gave a good run at Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay just overpowered him, overcame him that night, but it's going to be a great match. And it's going to really show a lot of strength and power where you always saying, yes, he took an L, but it was one of those matches that he could have went to anybody that was tick for tack. It could be one that we talk about later on. It's a match year contender. The AEW TBS Championships, the winner, Mercedes Moné, the CEO, versus Shida. Mercedes going to win this title back. I told you, they asked me on my other dog with Mike on the nightcap, will Mercedes lose? I said, absolutely not. Same thing. You do not invest this much in Mercedes Moné to have her lose. They are building her. New Japan is building her with a strong championship. And she had a better match on that New Japan show, Capital Collision. Had a great match. I just felt like her and Britt Baker just could not mesh together. Maybe this match with her and Shida will mesh better, but Monet will retain the title. CEO keeps going. And I said it again. Get her a manager. I found out that Mike told me that she brought this guy from WWE to write her promos. She just can't deliver them. Give her a manager. Sometimes a good heel needs a manager. It's so many people out there you could bring back. If I had my way, he would not come back for her. He would only come back for FTR. If I had my way, I'll be on the phone with you for that. I mean, several people you can bring. Hey, bring Reverend Slick back. Bring Slick back to AEW. Slick was in the WWF a long time ago. Slick was a good manager. Slick knew how to talk for his heels. When he had the Twin Towers, Hakeem the Dream and the Big Boss Man, he did the talking. Bring Slick back. Let Slick be a manager. It's so many older people you could bring back to manage Mercedes Moné that they could do that. It's just so many people. So, hey, look into the past, AEW. See who's out there that you can bring back to be a mouthpiece. Now we'll get down to one of the biggest matches on the show. MJF and Daniel Garcia. Boy, did they do good opening up AEW Dynamite. We talked about that on the nightcap. Definitely go back and jump back and watch some of these nightcaps to catch up if you missed anything on AEW, NXT, WWE. Definitely go back and catch up on that. What a great way to open up. MJF, this guy just knows how. He has wrote the book on how to be the world's greatest heel. He just knows. And he brings the best out of everybody. We saw this with Ospreay. Now we're seeing this with Daniel Garcia. His promos are making Garcia step his promos up. You're taking Garcia as a serious babyface now. Hats off to them, but once again, you got to keep the MJF run going. You don't have MJF lose to Ospreay a week ago to turn around and lose to Daniel Garcia this week. MJF will win this match, and it will be another good win for MJF. And if you're Daniel Garcia, that's a little push in the rug for you because you got to go against the cornerstone of AEW, the top heel. You had a match with them on a big premium live event, so that's showing it right there. They got a little belief in you of what you can be as a babyface of AEW. Now down to the final two. These are the two that we definitely want to spend some time talking about. AEW World Championship, Bryan Danielson versus Jack Perry. This is an easy pick. Danielson wins this match. Jack Perry has a great showing. It's in Chicago. He's going to get booed out the arena. He's in Punk's backyard. You're going to hear so many CM Punks throughout the show, but definitely during this match, you're going to hear him. But he has a good showing, has a great match. Do they put on a clinic? No, because it's not Daniel Bryanson and Claudio, but it is a great wrestling match of two guys who I think can both call a good match in the ring. Bryan Danielson will lead. Jack Perry will follow. If Jack Perry does everything the heel's supposed to do, you're going to walk out saying this right here was a banger match. Bryan Danielson to win this match, but Jack Perry has a good outing in this match. Now to the main event, and this has to be the main event. Unsanctioned lights out steel cage match. I really like when AEW does this. AEW has two people who just have pure hatred for each other, just cannot stand each other. They do those unsanctioned matches where they say, we're not sanctioned this match, so anything happens, AEW will not be held liable. I really like when AEW does that. I told you, when AEW do things right, they get it right. Now, when they do things wrong, they get it really wrong. But when they do it right, they get it right. I like this match. Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland. This match has been building for months. From when Swerve sat outside Hangman's house, Hangman comes outside with his pregnant wife, to Hangman telling everybody, how can you cheer for this guy? He broke into my house. How can you do this? You supposed to cheer for me. We have seen both of them go from, I don't know if Mike said the best on Wednesday night, babyface, heel, heel, babyface back, heel back, babyface. We have just seen them intertwine back and forth to now Hangman on Wednesday night pretty much just did the most heelish thing ever, sitting in front of the house, setting the house on fire. And what will a good story AEW told by having Swerve tell the legacy of this house, my childhood house. I worked hard, saved my money to go back and buy this house. It was foreclosed on us. I was able now to go back and buy it and do these things to be back in my childhood house. And then have Hangman at the end of the night set the house on fire. That put more nostalgia to this match. This match right here will probably go down. And I can say it now. And yes, you got Roman and Cody too this year. Yes, you had Cody and KO was a good match. Yes, Gunther and Randy was a good match. At King of the Ring, Gunther and Randy at Bash in Berlin. You had Sammy beat Gunther at WrestleMania. We had some great matches this year. But if this match is done right, if both wrestlers go out and tell a story in that ring, and the story is Swerve has to overcome the adversity. Hangman has to just beat him up or cheer for Swerve to come back. Finally, Swerve hits that one move, 1, 2, 3, Swerve wins. If this story is told like that, then I can say this will be the match of the year. It will be Cody and Roman 2. It'll be Sammy and Gunther for the IC title. It'll be Gunther and Randy for the World Heavyweight title. It will just be a great match. Now, will it have as much technical wrestling as we got with Randy and Gunther? No. What we got with Roman and Cody? No. But will it tell a story? Yes. And the key to booking this match is telling the story. Swerve now is the babyface, having him overcome the heel that's going to come in and get booed out of Chicago because you set the childhood house that went into foreclosure, that this young man had to work hard, save up his money, got this contract extension to go back and buy this house. This house that he was going to give back to his family. We're going to get this house back. We're going to renovate it. We're going to do all the stuff. Rah, rah, yay moment. If it tells that story of all of that, and Hangman's just this dastardly heel that we just want to grab him by the neck and squeeze it till his eyeballs pop out, this will be the match of the year. I'm taking Swerve in this match to win. Give me Swerve Strickland. That's my pick for All Out right here for AEW. Don't forget to tune in to All Out. As soon as All Out goes off, the night count will be coming on, breaking down All Out. As we always say, mouth off with Mike. We'll have a host of panels that evening talking about All Out, so make sure you check that out. Make sure you go back and check out all the other content on Boom Broadcasting. Quick hits. Drop the Mic Wednesdays. The night count mouth off with Mike. Drop the Mic Wednesdays with the President Michael D. Out of Pocket with Michael D. Quick Hits with Podcast Smitty, the Lombardi Party with Carlson, It Stinks TV show and review with yours truly, and WOD, and also more shows that we got coming out this week and next week. Don't know them all, but hey, definitely go check out the schedule. So much new content coming out. Please stay in tune with Boom Broadcasting. As always, we'll see you next week on WOD, and we'll see you at All Out. This is Shawn on Sign Off. Hey, Masterpiece, take me home. This is Shawn from WOD, and I'm with Chris Masters, the Masterpiece. And you are watching WOD on the Boom Broadcast. Let's go.